almost live. I got a lot of message windows that just popped up.
Broke it.
Yeah. Oh no, I broke the internet.
We're done. All right, it was fun.
All right. It is. It should be public.
Going on and on, folks.
Yeah, there it is. All right,
And
we got it.
we are almost live. We have a lot of messages that popped up.
All right.
Broke it. Yeah. Oh no, I broke the internet.
All right. So we're now live. Awesome. What's up? How's it going, everybody? I'm Dan, and that's Matt Gankman, and we're here talking with David Skadoosh Andrews and Mr. TJ Williams.
What's going on? Hey, on your page, this is friends only. Make it public.
Oh, man. Really? It's not doing it? What? Get out of here.
I shared it.
On Dan's, I tried to share it on Buddy RC.
All right, it's live.
Sweet.
It should be
There we
shareable.
Try it again.
I'm up to it. Here we go. Public. There we go. Now the little world icon is there. All right.
There we
go, guys. So TJ's got a little bit less time, but Skadoosh is here talking from China, so that's really freaking awesome. And TJ, what are you working on? You're working on Buddy RC, Sunny Sky, and OMP Hobby?
Yeah. It's the easiest way to think of it's like sister companies.
Yeah.
So, OMP was bought by Sunny. It don't matter. OMP and Sunny Sky they're the thing. And then Buddy RC is like a sister company. So doing marketing and, really getting paid to play with toys and make videos and all the fun stuff. So
yeah, all those helos, helis that you've been.
Dude, so that's the thing. It's like, this is more FPV, but OMP does a lot of really cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
So OMP's the M2 is really big, little heli thing.
Yeah.
And it's been kind of, we can't keep them in stock. Like they come in, they're already sold out. And then now we got balsa planes coming. We'll save the interesting Sunny Sky stuff for later. We don't want to drop, empty out the bag in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, keep on man.
Yeah. So the M2 is really big. Yeah. So the M2 original one, it was low price, really good. I can't fly it halfway. I do good flying that thing scale. Line of sight's great, but these 3D guys are ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that one was good, and then they discontinued it pretty quick, but the parts are still available. So that's a good thing, but it is what it is. So the Explorer came out as a cheap version. Then you got the V2, which is mostly metal. So that's the biggest difference. But they're crazy. Like I need to pull up some videos. Let's see if I can find some videos while we're sitting here talking.
You can. I think you can share the screen too.
Yeah, that's what we'll do.
So Skadoosh, you got a couple of things coming out at the moment too. You're working on. I know you got a frame, but Matt tells me that you've got a little motorcycle now that you're.
Actually, e-bike.
Nice.
It's like
It's pretty cool, man.
tire e-bike. It's like kind of looks like the old school Schwinn Stingray with like the banana feet and the high handlebars.
I had a little Vespa style e-bike for a while when I lived in a downtown core, and it was fantastic.
Pedal e-bike.
Nice.
It's got pedals on it and a hub motor, so it kind of looks like it looks like the old Schwinn Stingray type bike, but it's electric.
Yeah.
Or maybe like the old Indian mini bike type thing. Fat tire on it, 7-speed manual gears, and then you got 5 different powers on the pedal assist, depending on how lazy you want to be with pedaling. And I actually have a meeting tonight with the local boys that are going to be carrying it there. I don't want to say too much or spill any beans on that yet until we get things,
Nice.
further along. But hopefully it will be. We'll get the shipment over, the first load over to the USA within the next 4 weeks or so. I should hope.
Nice.
So everybody can grab them. I posted it up on Rotor Riot page. I'm like,
Yeah, we saw that.
Who's going to be carrying them?
really cool. What's that, Matt?
Who's the distributor?
I can't say at the moment until we get things locked in.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want them to get bombarded yet. After tonight, I should be able to announce it.
Cool.
Nice.
So just kind of put the feelers out there, and 99% we're going to jump on it because we've already worked out most of the details. But like I said, I never eat my cake before I count my chickens. So I hate to put anything out there, and everybody's like, "You said this, and you said it would be that price, and you said they would have it." Even in my experience, all these years of doing business, even if I say up front, listen, I don't know for sure. This is all speculation, right?
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen, I get messages like, you said it would be here in 3 weeks at this price. Wait, bro, I told you. So I just don't do that.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, they got people making memes. 3 weeks, Dave. 3 weeks, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and-
get enough of those. They've laid off of me lately, but on that alternative community page, I get
Oh,
hate
yeah.
mailing memes on there already.
The Seth Eakin one.
Yeah.
The fun one. The
A
fun
year
one.
ago, I just got no time for it, dude. I don't.
There's some funny ones out there, but I've just gotten sick of it all.
Oh my God! When we did the FPV late night with Chad Capper and all that.
Oh
when we
yeah.
did those episodes, I had like 50 memes because I was like eating a taco. So you guys can imagine where that went.
So that set actually, I did one of the I did that Woodburn plaque that was up on the back shelf there.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that was super cool, man. We like put that. I was like, that needs to be like right in the center.
Yeah, and Drib shouted it out a bunch of times in it too, and I was like, oh, cool. I just sent it to them like, here, I made this. I was bored. Like,
It was like such an off the cuff, awesome thing because like I was flying in from China and I was supposed to meet with Drew and those guys to just fly, and we were gonna film some crap and have fun and whatever.
yeah,
Then all of a sudden, Chad comes up with this harebrained idea that we're gonna do this FPV late night thing because. There was like 3 or 4 people, like TAC was coming and Little Stellar Fox, and we were all meeting in Orlando to do a meetup and a fly. And he came with this thing, we're going to do FPV late night. I show up there on like a Thursday morning, and him and Sean Morrison are in the middle of the freaking warehouse tacking together the stage, right? They got a pile of 2x4s and they're going to town. I'm like, what?
that's awesome.
We go out and fly, have lunch, whatever, come back. There's a whole freaking stage set up there. But I'm like, holy shit. You can't really tell from the video. It came out really, really good, but we were just like on a wood platform in the middle of the warehouse.
Yeah.
shooting.
Well, Capper wanted to build a set. He needed to justify it by making a show for it.
Exactly. Listen, man, he's a good dude. I know a lot of people have issues with him, but
I like him. I talk to him periodically,
Yeah.
and TJ does too.
the thing that I see most, is like all the people that blast like a lot of these guys have never met him, don't even freaking know him.
Yeah, exactly.
They have no idea how cool these dudes are, or how passionate they are when you hang out with them.
Hey,
Chad and I-
he convinced me to build drones for a living.
Exactly.
I mean, Chad and I go way back to the early Rotor Riot days when they came here and we did episodes at Bando Island and shit,
Oh, yeah.
with Steel and Sowak. I mean, Nowak.
Yeah, I remember sitting down at a lunch with Capper and him going, man, you ought to look at just like building. You got a lot of information. Build drones for people. Do this. And I'm like, man, I'm making $100,000+ a year at this job. Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
It worked out though. I mean, we ate soup for a while. but it was worth it, you know.
Yeah. Right now, I'm just doing it part time, so it's like, you know, when I get home from work, it's straight to the drone shit and filling orders and stuff, and
Yeah.
all my ducks in a row. But yeah,
Yeah. So we was talking about the M2 a minute ago.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know, you know, FPV guys probably didn't watch the M2 video that I did, but there was some flying in it. So I can't fly that crap, man. I would love to. I can do it on the simulator a little bit, but not really. So I use flying videos from the guys in China, and they're absolutely amazing. So I actually got some more this morning. So literally, I'm probably one of 3 people that've seen this video, but it is sick. So let's see if I can figure out how to share this.
The little screen icon in the bottom.
Screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just share the screen. I said share the screen. Come on now.
Then it'll pull up a tab or whatever you got.
There we go. All right. You see the helicopter now?
Not yet.
Come on now. Technical difficulties.
Oh, here we go. I got it popping up here.
There we go.
All right, cool.
You could have just hid that mic in your beard and it would just look like one thing.
All right, y'all got it. We'll hit play. Check us out.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, it's I love it.
I would end up like that meme of the dude who got his back sliced. I wouldn't know where to start with that.
But still, even though it's so tiny, when I fly it out here in the yard, it scares me.
Wow.
that's crazy. We've got a guy in the flying field who does shit like that. It drives me crazy.
Mute that.
What was that, Skadoosh?
I think HJ's son has one of those.
I'm
Him
not
and Young
sure.
Rock. I think he just posted a video of him. He had a little one he was flying.
Yeah. I know
spent-
that it's crazy how many people have this thing now.
Yep, I'm pretty sure he has one. I spent before the breakout happened. I spent a month down in Thailand with HJ and Young Rock and
Yeah.
Mill and I can't think of his name now. 2 of the Thailand top guys. It was all we did was fly tracks like 8 hours a day. It was insane training. You know, there's all these young freaking hot guns out there, and then they all. I had 3 laps. If they didn't crash, they pretty much always lapped me. But
Dude,
that still puts me like at 80% above like the rest of the world. You know what I mean?
yeah. What me and Matt Novakowski was talking about the other night is like, you know, in 2016 is when I went to Drone International, whatever, out in. It's like, man, we thought we were fast. And you look at these
Back
kids
then,
now, it's like, holy crap.
Back
Dude,
then,
I
all we
never thought I was fast.
Yeah.
saw
Yeah.
your lap podium. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, people are absolutely crazy now. I don't.
Yeah, they're ridiculous, man. I mean, like the same thing. I consider any local race, anything like that around here, I can dominate. But when I'm like with Young
Yeah.
Rock, I fly with Min Jae. I've flown with Thomas.
Yeah.
You know, BMX Webb and you know, Min Chen and
See,
Min
no,
Jae.
yeah,
Kid. Oh my God, dude! Like I said, out of 3 laps, they'll lap me by the 3rd lap.
see, I'll just be happy to talk about stuff on, you know, the screen and build stuff for other people. They can have it. There's
But
I'm
no
kind
way.
of at that point too, TJ, to be honest. I do build videos. I do my own flight videos. I'm now doing this. I'm good with that, you know?
Yeah, I'm good. Go out and fly every now and then.
Yeah, you should try racing in Texas. That's fun too.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking Ivan. We got Gil Coronado right here in town. Neil NM Grower, you know, right down in Houston. Ivan, right down in Houston. Plus all the guys up, you know, the rest of the guys up in Dallas. David Mills and that new kid Joaquin, who's freaking crazy fast. There's just so many.
I heard about him.
I go there and I'm you know, running my practice laps. I'm like, all right, 25 seconds. I said I can work down from that, and then everybody else is like 11, 12. And I'm like, shh. shit.
So you all ended up being racers. I have no such past,
I
but
like the freestyle too, but
I started my journey with giant cinema drones. My first experience was fiddling with the gyro camera on a giant. I think it was a Taro 1000 or something, one of the big Octos, on a Nissan GTR commercial when I worked in the film world, and I went to be a medic after that, and then I just sort of dropped back in, was like, I want to build one. I'm going to build me a giant Octo. And I did. And it failed. And TJ and Matt Nowakowski talked me through trying to, on the flight test forum, talked me through the old APM 2.8 controller that was running it. And they're like, oh, this port's fried. Fix that. And I'm like, oh, awesome. Thank you. And then I moved to Florida and met all the FPV guys, and now it's just become chaos. Like, yeah, I started Micro Quad Squad during COVID because I was just flying around my house all the time in micros, and now that's sort of become a thing too.
Round two, everything's getting shut down again. You'll have more micros coming out.
Exactly, and I got a couple. We got to talk about those because I know Matt's got his micros coming out.
yeah, those are supposed to be out soon.
Oh, nice. Nowadays, it takes such insane dedication to be a racer. But I mean, I'm pretty lucky over here.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you can see my poster down there at the end. But I'm sponsored by the International Drone Racing GP here.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
they fly us all over China. You know, they pay for my hotel, my air travel, everything. We've raced up in the mountains, Tibet, and freaking everywhere. But they fly all the pilots in from all over the world. So, you know, I'm blessed to meet like everybody. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, on Taylor 4 or 5 times. Thomas always flies over here from Australia. All the Korean guys, Min Chan and all those guys fly over here. You know, I've met like Heiko from Germany and all the, you know, I flew with Luke Bannister when he was like 14 years old, you know, back in the day. You know, it's crazy. But, you know, like I was saying back in the day, people that are into the hobby now don't realize what we went through back then, because you didn't have forums. There was you had forums, but there was no YouTube. There was no Bardwell. I mean, when I built a quad, I would like set it 30 yards away and hide behind a tree where it's made in flight. I never knew where that thing was going to go.
Right.
Like there were a few back then, like JC with Project Blue Falcon and Flight Test, and like a couple of them did some stuff, but it was hard to learn back then. That's for sure.
Yep. JC was the man.
JC was, and we actually did a really awesome tribute for him. I didn't have too much to do with it, but we built him a really awesome tribute quad and presented it to his brother Matt.
I remember that Random did something with that, right?
Yeah, we did. It was a bunch of us, like Trevor Howard, Bobby Harmon, me, Aaron Sisko, Sean Mundell, Brock Hammond. Like the whole big crew of people got together. Matt, weren't you in it too, or?
No, I wasn't in it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I was going to donate some parts, but y'all had already everything filled up like super quick.
Yeah, by the time I jumped in, I was like, what can I do? Can I do like stickers? Like, what do you guys need? Receiver? Like, like what's left? And, but it was awesome to watch Trevor hand that to Matt, and it was a super emotional video, but gorgeous quad, gorgeous paint job by Bobby. And yeah, it was, JC was the man. He helped a lot of us figure stuff out for sure.
I think he's still helping people, man. I still see people sharing his how-to videos.
I pulled up one of his videos the other day to figure something out, actually.
Yeah, him and Bardwell seem to be the two go-tos.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing. Like he's so known, and Bardwell kind of worshipped him for a little bit because sometimes Bardwell was having trouble.
Yeah, dude, he was going for his electronics engineering and stuff. You know, he wanted to build his own flight controllers and everything. So
Oh, yeah.
he like knew the nitty gritties. What was
Yeah.
cool was he like left everything in plain English. You know, solder this to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so what's TJ, what's Sunny Sky doing? You said they're thinking of making a little switch?
Not a switch. So, like, when I started, you pretty much, 2014, you had two choices of motors for the most part. You had Cobra or Sunny Sky.
Yeah.
Like, when you Googled, it popped up like the 1900 kV Sunny Sky or the 2300 kV Cobra. Like, that was.
on
What's
3S.
Yeah, yeah.
1806 on 3S.
Right. So it was that, and Sunny Sky tried the Edge Racing motors. They did okay, but it wasn't great. So they kind of backed out. Didn't really do anything else. Those motors are still hanging around, but they're jumping back in. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's they never really left, but yeah. So they're jumping back in the FPV game with motors. Don't have a timeline, don't have any real information other than they're coming back. So that's exciting. And then not just with motors. So we're looking at kind of pre-built quads. I did a lot of them. Obviously, that's kind of how I got my start working in the industry, was building quads for Rotor Riot, flight test, and doing all that. So those will be coming back through Sunny Sky too. And then plus Buddy RC, we're going to do some of those ourselves, and it's follow the pack. I mean, really, it's everybody else is doing it. You jump in, and it'll be good either way. Pretty sure a kid just fell down the steps.
Uh-oh.
It's fine.
Which
They're not
one?
crying. I'm okay.
They're screaming, so they're still alive.
Yeah. I actually had one of those moments today. I heard a loud thud in the other room. And I was like, "Oh God, what happened?" And I was waiting for the and nothing. And then I hear, "I'm okay."
Yeah, all right.
all right, we're good. All right.
But yeah, the gist is, the quad stuff, ESCs, but mainly the motors are going to be the interesting one, because they've got a few things that aren't being done with other motors that I'm pretty interested to see come out. And of course, as soon as it does, man, we might have to jump back on here and do a reveal. But yeah, so that's that. Buddy RC just expanding the store there, bringing FPV back to them, because same thing, man. They did FPV for a long time. They did it pretty good. They were first on a lot of things, and then they kind of got away from it. So bringing me in, one of the keys to doing that was, let's get FPV stuff back. So it's nice to have an influence again, even if I don't know what I'm talking about half the time anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I have friends.
Oh, lucky you.
Right? Like, hey, Dan, I don't know what I'm doing, but they've got these new motors coming out. Are they okay?
Yeah.
Let me know.
Well,
Tough because
Henry
there's
Ford, right? Like one of the most successful guys back in the day.
Yeah.
He had like a reporter in there asking him, questions about, some legality or the assembly or whatever. And he's like, look, I don't know, but see this phone right here with all these buttons on it? In 5 minutes, I can have somebody in here that can answer every one of those questions.
Exactly.
So, it's all about good management, my friend. You don't have to be knowledgeable. You just have
That's right, man. That's right. That's why we have all the friends and people around you. Surround yourself with good people, and you don't have to know everything.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's those two.
There's so many people getting in the flight controller game, and even in the gear game, it's hard to keep up with everything. Even if you've got enough money to just fiddle it away, it's just, you can't buy every flight controller, test every motor, test every. Especially they got these Whoop boards coming out that got like 30 and 35 amp output. With I'm like,
yeah, it's far too much for what it is. And so Troy Nakeen just said, "Yo, what up?"
Speaking of surrounding myself with good people, I think I sent him a message last week. It's like, dude, I got this message in an email. I don't know what I'm doing. How do I fix this for the TX16?
Yeah, and Matt, you know Troy too. You fly with Troy, right?
Yeah, I haven't flown with him recently. He's been busy with his Quad Standard Lab stuff, just freaking banging it out. So the only time I see him fly is just like testing builds because he's just going and going. But yeah, he's actually only like 5 or 6 miles away from me.
Nice.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, he's been busy with the Quad Standard Lab stuff. I've watched a few of those builds.
yeah, I've watched a couple of them too, and he's getting them down, like banging them out quick. So
Wow, T-Bone. I ain't heard that one in a minute.
yeah. What's up, Josh?
Yeah.
TV.
I remember I cut
What's up, Ian?
TJ a sticker, but I forgot to send it to him. It was T-Bone's drones.
Yeah, man, that's going back a minute.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about some frames. Skadoosh, you got your new frame coming out, right?
I do. Here, hold on. We're working on it. So back in this was the V1, and this design is like 2 years old.
Oh, nice.
And everybody that I never really did market it, but I sent a bunch of them out to a bunch of different people, and everybody absolutely knew the way it flew. But this is still for full size camera and full size board. This is before everything went small, and of course before DJI was around.
Yeah.
This will give you a better idea because this is one that's assembled.
Oh, nice.
I remember talking to you about that one, Dave.
Yeah, and people were saying like this was I made this like around the same time the Chameleon was coming out, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you're copying the Chameleon," and even Chris LaRue, who I'm friends with, jumped in and said, "That is nowhere near our frame. Just knock it off." I never really did bring it to market. As we all know, there's not like a ton of money in frames. You just put a frame out there kind of like for a sake type thing. You know what I mean? So I just cut a bunch of these, gave them out to my friends, did a couple giveaways with them, whatever. But now, given that like the DJI system is kicking up and stuff like that, we decided to like revamp it so that it can fit, because it has such a great camera protection cage on there. Like the only thing I've ever broken on is like the little ribs here, and these were in play to keep the motor vibrations from reaching the cam cage. They took all the vibration out of the arms, so it worked out really well. So the V2, I don't know if we'll be able to see this print because my printer was out of ink, but
Oh, yeah, I see it.
you can see that like it will be able to fit everything that's out there from DJI to
Looks
30
like
by
at the same time too.
20.
Yeah, front and back.
Yep.
That's
So it's the same layout as that frame. We're just going to revamp it to make everything fit, and then of course shrink the camera cage because nobody uses full-size cameras anymore. It's all micro or the DJI size cams. So we're revamping it to fit all the new stuff, and then we'll.
the DJIs are 22 mil, right? So that's almost the same as the larger, older cams.
Well, yeah, but I'm going to make it so the air unit and the 20 by 20 Vista will fit in there.
Yeah.
You can pop the 20 by 20 Vista in there, or the air unit's going to fit exactly between the standoffs.
Yeah.
You can just glue it in the center there because it doesn't have any mounting on it.
That's pretty wicked, man.
So it should work out pretty good. I know when I did the V1 frame, obviously Lumineer was like, give us the print, we'll cut a bunch of them and sell them. And Capper had approached me. I gave him a couple. Drew had one, whatever, but we just never really made it happen. Like I said, that was like 2 years ago. I was kind of in the heat of getting my business, was just starting to hit real good. So I don't know. It was just a fun thing to do, is more than, a marketing type thing. You know what I mean? But I'm going to do it again, and I'll probably end up doing the same thing. Just like anybody that messages me, I'll give them one or whatever. Like I had one I had one guy message me, and he was a home care nurse guy, and I guess it was like a 15-year-old kid that had been in a motorcycle accident. You know,
Yeah.
like his only escape from that wheelchair was FPV. And I didn't even tell him, but when I flew back to the States that year for Christmas, I decked one out, like with all top of the line gear that I could get my hands on, and put it in a box and sent it to him. You know,
Nice.
so the kid, like, that's like his trophy on the wall. But, you know,
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's badass. So,
Nice.
how thick are you going to do the bottom plate?
5 millimeter.
Okay.
Because that was the other thing too. Is like this was designed before 4-in-1 ESCs were popular. You know what I mean? So we had to have the arm
Yeah.
Yeah.
fucking pop an ESC on there because ESC. You know, we know that ESCs were massive back then. So now I'm going to shrink the arms and make the ribs a little thicker and more sturdy. We're going to shrink the size of the camera cage. So we're going to take some weight out of the frame and then add it back in, so it'll be the same. When I built these all up weight with the GoPro and battery, they came out to 640.
Nice.
Nice.
The other cool thing, like with these frames, right, is if you see the cheeks aren't attached to that front plate, so you can make this a slam deck or whatever size standoffs you want to use. I'm going the wrong way for my camera. Whatever size standoffs you want to use in here, you know, you can drop it down to a 15 millimeter or put 28 in there, whatever you want to fit.
It looks like it's at about 25 to 20 millimeter area.
Yeah, I think it's a 20 right now on here.
Yeah, that's pretty slammed in my book, at least.
Now, you know, the way I'm designing this new frame, you'll be able to put the ESC in the middle and then your flight controller in the front. So you can lay it all flat like a sandwich. And then the Vista in the back is only 15 millimeters. So you could essentially slam this to 15 millimeters if you want it.
Oh, yeah. And so Skadoosh, Captain Chaos, who is a brilliant 3D printer and designer, he just posted, I'm digging that frame design, but it needs some prints, though. So I think he wants to get in touch with you.
Hashtag hustle.
Do it up, my bro.
If you like skull themes, he's your man. He's got some epic frames.
Very cool.
Yeah. Hustler. He just got shouted out by Drew in the community spotlight, actually.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
I gotta say, you know, I don't care what I've seen his awesome prints or whatever. I'm not much of a 3D print guy at all. I'm old school zippy tie and tape. Because I know better than to try to make it pretty because it ain't gonna last.
Yeah, that's what I was always told, man.
He's
Don't
a
make it
showman.
pretty, just fly it.
Just
Oh my god, I've got a couple that look beautiful that I took the time to braid the wires and like I took the time on it. I painted a few, and then I've got a couple that just look like garbage thrown into a pile, and it's like, and it flies. So,
But it doesn't matter.
no, if it flies, as long as the cords aren't going to get tangled up and stuff, and you tape it well enough, you know.
So I think I'm going to actually put a video.
We did this is the QAV V2 Slam, and I did the release video on this with Andy when I was in. This thing is 18 months old, bro.
Nice.
And it's just freaking, you know, like the camera thing up here is just held on with a Velcro strap. You know, a little bit of tape.
We call that the old trusty method.
Exactly. Look at the antenna on the Crossfire. It's just, let me move that out of the way. This is the antenna that I started out with, and it's just a freaking frayed mess just hanging out.
It's just a nub.
Still never fail-safed.
Dude, this one is my original Nemesis that I first built. The very first one, the day I got the shipment in, I picked up mine. And
Nice.
this thing, I haven't broken anything on it. Except my camera. But yeah, it's 2 years I've had that sucker and been bashing it around. I'm still kind of surprised that it works. It's kind of like
It has a Lumineer Eagle in it that they quit making like a year ago.
Oh, nice.
TJ, you had some relics back in the day too.
Of
Dude, I'm
course.
gonna make another one. So Sean at Impulse RC sent me a warp quad. So I'm gonna do the 6-inch warp quad. It's got the old school Moto F3 built-in flight controller. Dude, I've got that. I think I got 4 Speedix 30 amp arm, individual ESCs.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about these sometime. But the flat, the new Flash Hobby stuff. They sent me that box. So the motors here, 2207, 1900 kV. I'm gonna throw those on and just do old school line of sight rig. And I think I'm gonna make that video and actually put it on my old channel. So kind of revive that instead of putting it on Buddy RC, because there's literally nothing there that would be relevant anyway. So let's open up the old channel and just take it back about 4 years, something like that.
Yep.
I think when I built my first one was about 4 years ago.
The old warp quads.
Dude, I love it. There's line of sight, man. Nobody does it anymore, but it's so easy just to pull it off the bag, throw a battery on it, and literally toss it out the back door and just fly. Yeah, I don't have to worry about.
I have a couple rigs that I haven't torn down yet that have a broken camera, a broken VTX that I just throw in periodically, and I'm like, all right, dance it around my backyard for a little bit, see what happens.
And I never broke it.
I'm so out of practice with that now, man. Like, take a new build and pop it up in the air and do a couple rolls with it or whatever, and then land it again just to make sure it's flying okay before I go into the goggles. But other than that, that's how I started out. Actually, the very first thing I started out with, like a lot of people, was the SEMA X5.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about quads, and I was up at like this temple on top of a mountain here in China. And I see this freaking drone floating around taking pictures of it, and I had no idea. Of course, it was a DJI Phantom, and I saw the guy down there with the controller, and I saw him just pushing his camera around, and I'm like, I should probably do that one here. Back then, I was like a 1-year contract. I was like, I should get as much video and stuff as I can before I leave. So I had no idea what it was. So I'm walking around downtown one day, and I see this kid flying this drone in front, around in the street in front of this little shop. Like, oh, that's got to be the same thing. So I see my X5 for like $40, thinking I'm going to get great video and pictures out of it.
Oh yeah.
Instructions are in Chinese, so I have no idea how to fly this freaking thing. I lost 4 of them before I figured out the controls on them.
God.
Which way does it go? I don't know. It's all in Chinese.
Dude, Scooter, I don't fly anywhere really. There's a field about 50 yards that way. I just walk right out the door and fly right out front. I
got a backyard.
Yeah, there's a few. So Buckeye Big Birds. There's another one down in Dayton that I go and watch. The 100-inch airplanes. That's all the guys here flying the big 3D stuff, and it's so cool to watch them. But I haven't flown there yet because I don't want to embarrass myself. But it's fun to watch. But yeah, talking about how you started. So I started with South Park. It's like 2014. They came out with an episode where Cartman was flying it was a Phantom and like spying in people's windows. I didn't want. It was like, dude, how do I do that? I mean, not necessarily spying in windows, but it's like, man, there's got to be something that you can do that with now. So I started Googling and saw Phantoms. I was like, okay, that looks okay. But there's that one video, I cannot remember. I actually ran across the guy that made that video not too long ago, but the one where the drones are flying through the woods. And it's like 5-6 years old now. But God, no longer
Danny. And I met Metal Danny. What a cool guy.
Yeah. So that, and I was like, okay, this is cool. So I made more money than sense at the time. And just literally dropped all kinds of cash. And the next, 2 days later, there's this 6-foot stack of boxes at my house. And went through, I was like, okay, I'm going to learn how to fly. I started on the little Hubsan, the little tiny one. And I was like, okay, I'm going to fly that while I'm trying to learn how to build. So I had to learn how to solder. And that, took a month or two. Finally got through it all. Went outside. It was like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to fly this thing, and I didn't. Yeah, it sucked. I tried. I was like, okay, self level forever. And I tried to turn that off, and I'd crash, and that was about the time Freerider FPV came out. So it was like I quit flying for 6 months. I said I'm never doing it again. Picked up the simulator, beat the crap out of that thing, learned to fly, and fast forward a year and a half later, I started working at Flight Test. So it's don't give up on your dreams, kids.
Right?
PSA moment right here.
Don't give up.
My first
TJ, you had a fantastic quote on Flight Test that describes most people's first experience with drones, and that was, and I sent you the clip of it today because I thought it was hilarious, and that was, don't stop flying till you hear screaming. And then he immediately turned around and went, no, that's not right. Don't do that.
You just put your loan until you hear someone screaming, disarm, disarm, disarm.
I think my
And then there, you just pissed off a lot of people.
before I knifed
man.
it to the ground and snapped every prop. And of course, back then, two-bladed props that you had to put on the balancer and sand.
And you had to have a trash bag
a
of
little
them because they would break if you hit them. If you looked at them wrong, they were going to snap. So literally, you go to leave and you're just scraping the table, getting all the props off. It's like, man, I can't do this. I just spent $50 for 5 minutes. What am I doing?
Oh my God! With the big cinema drones, I was stuck with those carbon fiber ones. Oh, those are the worst things in the world to balance. You end up with like electrical tape and 2 stickers on one side. And you're just like, okay. And then the slightest gust of wind and the entire thing just shatters. And you're like, awesome.
Leaf. What happened?
Yeah. But then when it's
man.
flying, you're like, oh my God, this house is flying. Like, how is this thing working?
Yeah. I only ever built one thing like that, and it was, I think, 2015 or so. I built a Taro, was it like a 680 or something? It's the Hexcopter that they got.
Don't you dare lie. You built the giant QAVR that was 22 inch.
No, I never. I mean, at Flight Test, I built some stupid stuff. Just
That giant race quad.
Yeah, well, that, and then the big metal thing with like that's whatever. But yeah, before all of that, I got this bright idea. I was like, they got the Phantom, but screw paying that money. I'm just going to build this thing, and then I'm spending like twice as much money and making a Hexcopter that I think it flew on 6S with a stupid GoPro gimbal. It was cool at the time.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
I have one of those Taro 690s that carries a Taro gimbal, the little 2D gimbal. Although none of the newer GoPros fit it. You need one with the round circular lens. Because it's the only thing that Taro had as the mount for. Oh, that was frustrating.
I wasn't like wanting to dig into the whole FPV thing. I just wanted like this camera platform that I could get like this cool I think I was looking at like the Shugong or something that you could put old NASA in, before DJI locked everything up. Yeah. And what happened to me, I'm from Sarasota, so get FPV, right down the street.
Yeah.
I was watching the Flight Test video, Fly Like Sharpoo, where Alex and they were in the park with Sharpoo.
Josh, Alex, probably Josh.
Hey, Josh and Alex are in the park with Sharpoo, and he's flying through the trees,
Yeah.
I'm looking at it, and I'm like, that's Gillespie Park. That's like 3 houses away from where I live.
Yeah.
And then I looked into it further, and Get FPV is like right next to it. So that year when I flew home, kind of like TJ, I walked into the original Get FPV that was actually like, it was an old gym. It had been a gym on like one of the side streets that they converted into a warehouse. And I walked in there and just bought head plays and bananas, all the junk that they had back then.
We're going to the house, guys. Let's go.
Well, I had the what were the first Fat Sharks, the Aviators or whatever they were. But I put those on, and it was like was like looking at a postage stamp down a hallway. I was like, I freaking give me those head plays. I need to see everything.
I got
That's awesome.
That's like when I first started. The Dominator HD3s or HD3s that just came out, and I was hunting for a set of HD2s, and I found them on I think it was Hobby King's website, because they had them mislabeled. They just had them listed as Dominator V2 instead of the HD2 V2.
Wow.
They had the camo dip on them, so I ended up. I'm still flying those now. I still haven't upgraded to HDOs. I figured. I was like, yeah, by the time I want to upgrade to HDO, there's something digital come out, and then DJI came out, and I'm like, it's there, yeah. So I'm glad I didn't spend the money on the HDO stuff. But
Dude, that DJI, I don't care what anybody says, that shit is insane. I just got mine like last week. I was one of those guys that was on the fence forever because I have, $1,000 worth of freaking analog gear.
Yeah.
It was like a thing that was holding me back. You know what I mean? And I flew a couple of my friends. And I was like, yeah. And then finally I was just like, I'll tell you, the main thing that pushed me over the fence was Bruce came out with that video, the FAA meeting thing. And the DJI lawyer guy was the only one that stood up and was sticking up for the FPV guys. You know what I mean? The rest of them, the AMA guys, and everybody was sitting on their freaking hands. And I was like, all right, that's it. I'm going to buy a DJI system. And I bought it like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Like the day after I bought it, they came out with the firmware upgrade to fit. Bro,
I haven't even seen it in person yet. Like,
it's insane.
at all.
Insane.
I haven't seen it yet with my own eyes either, but it'll be one of those things that I'm kicking myself for not at least buying the goggles on the Father's Day sale.
Yeah.
If there was some in stock somewhere, I would have bought them, but I really hate pre-orders, so I was like,
I haven't.
I'll buy the kit because the guy in the city next to me that he used to sponsor me back in the day. He's a good friend of mine, Rush FPV, right? I'm good friends with those guys. That make the Rush tanks and all that stuff. In fact, I'm the guy that sent the 5 to Drew that Bardwell got a hold of in the first place that did all the testing that popped them off. They're always sending prototypes and stuff. Anyway, he had the goggles, so I bought the little kit for him. And I'm like, if I don't like it, everybody's flying it, I can sell it back to somebody. So I put the Vista in one of my quads, and the next day I ordered 3 more Vistas. So what does that tell you?
Wow.
Yeah.
And then started designing a frame around it.
Yeah, I haven't tried it, but all I've heard is good things. And I use a lot of the old DJI like NASA systems and the N or the A or whatever controller, but the A8 or something. But
For
I use those.
freestyle,
yeah,
absolutely.
no, not for freestyle, no. but
No,
for
I mean DJI for freestyle.
yeah,
System, absolutely. For racing, I don't really see it
Anybody
happening.
racing them? Or is it just analog only?
Some people are. I know Roddy tried it a couple times, but like most of your major races, like multi-GP and all that stuff, their timing system doesn't pick them up or anything yet, and it's not shareable. So they can't like put it on their screens, do the screenplay. That was the other thing that was holding me back because I have a lot of kids and stuff here. Every place is crowded here. So when I fly in a park, I always have my little screen with me to hand to the kids. Whatever keeps them out of my hair when I'm flying, and they're like, it's cool. But the DJI at this point is not shareable. But for freestyle, I'm still getting used to it. Like yesterday, I went out through like 4 or 5 packs.
yeah.
And I finished, and I was like, I didn't even do any tricks. All I did was fly around the park looking at everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like too good.
Wow.
Like I'm coming down a tree, and I'm not looking at my gap anymore. I'm like looking over at the tree. Wow. Oh, shit.
Doesn't DJI have that Commander controller that you can share from now?
Yeah, but it's like $700, and they're like,
Yeah, I mean that's ridiculous, but
Yeah.
it's
I'm sure some will come out at one point. But like I said, for racing, it's almost too much. I'll still stick with my HDOs and the analog for racing. For one, the variable latency, and for the other, all I want to see is the next gate. I don't want to be.
There's one of his.
There's one. Should we just line them up and everybody?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. He's got another page called, what is it, 9 Plus Us or something like that?
Yeah, that one's kind of died off, but yeah, Charnay's kind of runs that every now and then.
Yeah.
My puppy's out being quiet in the living room, so that means she's destroying something. I'll have to check it out after we're done.
Who's that? Hey, Brock.
Hey, Rock.
No.
Brock Hammond says hi, everybody.
What's up, Brock?
What's up?
He's still waiting on his HD Mutiny frame from you, Matt.
Yeah, I know.
He's
Brock
been
and I-
salivating over that for weeks.
Yeah, Brock and I had a couple-hour video chat the other day. It was pretty good. So yeah, I know. I'm very well aware he's waiting on an HD Mutiny frame.
Oh, I
Um,
a couple guys in the chat said about the fit of the DJI goggles.
yeah.
They're absolutely like I fly with a couple of Italian guys, of course, a bunch of Asian people. My French friend has a nose like he could freaking catch a fish off the top of the lake.
Oh, yeah, right here. Right here.
I'm German, my head's like a freaking light bulb, and my eyeballs are like a catfish.
Yeah.
Those goggles fit absolutely fucking nobody. Right?
I thought you were going to go a different direction. Like, oh no, they're okay. You're just weird. No, they suck. Nobody can wear them. So deal with it.
But
So what I figured I was gonna do. Oh, go ahead.
you have to buy the aftermarket comfort foam for them.
Yeah. Which is
Not
what,
fit.
$600?
The DJI comfort foam, perfect. And then you take the stock gasket that came with them and cut the nose piece out and put it in with the comfort foam. Dude,
Money.
because I was the same way. I'm like, these do not fit in. When I tried my friends, I'm like, there's light flying in here. It's smashing my nose. You know, and like I said, I'm with an Italian, a French guy, 3 Asian guys, me, German, you know, and they didn't fit any of us.
I figured I was just gonna like saran wrap my head, put them on, and then use some of that spray foam. And then once it was sanded and dried, I'd file it down to make it look kind of nice and spray paint it black.
New kind of fat strap called Saran strap.
Saran straps.
Tom, I don't know how to say your last name, Tom. I'm sorry. I want to try, but I'll butcher it. He said he got the colored foam. Yeah, there you go. Oh, is that oh, okay. I
Yeah, this
like
is a
that
little-
cover. Yeah,
It holds the antennas and the SD cards.
awesome.
My buddy gave me this with the goggles, and it's got
Matt?
the little felt on the other side.
Matt
Yeah, you gotta-
designed one for Fat Sharks a while back. That was a little drawer that held everything.
Yeah,
Get this comfort foam, and then cut the nose out of the original face piece, and stick it in there. And it's freaking perfect because you can adjust these to the size of your nose,
okay.
and then you're good to go. That colored foam, I know what he's talking about because I tried that too. But it held the goggles too close to my face. It was a little too squishy.
Yeah.
And I had to pick all the fuzz, all the foam out of the nose piece because when you put it together, it just absolutely crushed my nose. But then my buddy was like, get the comfort foam. Dude, game changer.
Nice. Yeah, I still need to try those. I actually just bit the bullet and treated myself to the brand new pair of Fat Shark Attitude V5s, the one with the new OLED screen. And to be honest, man, that was my game changer. It was like so crystal clear, and I was like, oh, I was using crappy box goggles with an external jerry-rigged DVR before, so anything was a step up from that. But these, they blew my mind. I was so happy with the image.
Oh, yeah. I bought the HDOs too, like back when they first came out. And it definitely, because of the blacks, like you can see it separates everything. Having the pixels as opposed to the lines loading up. Like even when I was flying gates or anything, you know, you can actually see the outline of stuff.
Yeah.
But I took the DJI system like down to a spot where I normally have like sketch video when I fly in certain areas because it's like around the subway and Wi-Fi and all tons of millions of ground noise skyscraper. they didn't even glitch, bro. Like they didn't even hiccup. It was insane. And I flew out like 700, 800 meters, not even like a pixel. I was like, whoa.
And here I am breaking up, doing a lap around the back of my house.
So you guys know I was the one that designed the looks of those DJI goggles, right?
They kind of look like you're shaved.
He got drunk one night. Put two little feelers on it.
Can you put that up, Dan?
What? Which one?
I should be sharing a screen.
Oh, there we go.
It was a comic book character I drew back in 1992 when I was in the movie. So notice the optional COVID attachment already.
Next DJI product right there.
See, I saw the future.
It's like the supervillain Bane from Batman.
Yeah, it was just, I was in the Navy at the time, so I was out on a boat and just sketching all kinds of weird crap.
We got a question. What about the Bite Frost? I haven't personally tried it. Have any of you?
I haven't tried it either, but and I'm not advocating one thing or the other or whatever. I'm just talking about user experience. And I hope the Bite Frost is awesome and does good, but it's attached to like your pre-existing goggles. The user interface on these things is nuts because you just move the joystick or whatever. It changes the channel to the VTX at the same time as you can adjust the camera saturation, whatever, from the goggles. You can record. Just the user interface is crazy. The only thing I hope when they update the firmware again is that I can move the OS. There's a few OSD elements I'd like to have, like it gets RSSI but not link quality.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to move them around on the screen because right now they just pop in wherever you can put them. So like you got your battery average cell up here, and then you got the voltage reading down here, and then you got the RSSI over here, and the freaking video link over here. So your eyes are going all over the screen trying to figure out, okay, my voltage is this, but the average cell is this, and I got this many MMA, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to stack them where I want.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a layout that I use on
that. And here's another major bitch for me on these. This is DJI, right? And for years and years and years and years, what is the main thing that we've always bitched about with goggles? No fucking power button. You couldn't at least put it on the cord? I don't want to yank the fucking cord in and out every goddamn time I want to shut it off.
Dude, fiddling trying to get the fan to go in mine just kills me.
Well, the fan goes automatic in here, but, we all know if you plug and unplug a barrel connector too many times, it fucking wears out. So you got to yank XT60 off every time out of your pocket, Why didn't you just put one on the cord, at least? You're not new to this. This isn't your first fucking day.
Like just even one of those old school switch.
Yeah, dude. Even
David Windestall jerry rig it to like the side of something.
That would have been the one thing that they could have done to let us know they really cared.
Yeah, or that they were listening in the slightest.
At least to let us know they were really coming for Fat Shark,
There was one. Which was it? It's not the Sky Zones that has a button, is it? Is there? The Sky Zone 030s, didn't they have like a power switch?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
I think the HDO2s have one on there now.
That was like their big selling point, I think. That and the OLED screen.
Yeah.
I think. I remember one of them coming out recently with a button. Not sure which.
The HDO V2s have a power button on it. It's like multifunctional though. I think it does like the fan and the power. And
I think there's a lot of 3D prints available to do that.
Right. So, a lot of guys soldered their fan thing together with the barrel connector on their goggles. Yeah. I didn't like that because I like to put them on my forehead and turn the fan on so they were doing their thing before I...
Sean says, yes, the Sky Zones do have the button.
There we go. Confirmed.
Yeah, so that works out well.
I just recently got that new Immersion RC head play, and the only thing I don't like about it is the battery life. So I just recently got another second set of 2040 mod 18650s for it, but it's got a power button right on the top of it that it powers off the Fat Sharks. You can power the Fat Sharks from it, or you can just have the your video to the head play. I've got some video I need to do a comparison of. I did Fat Shark DVR and the head plate DVR when I was racing this past weekend, so I want to do a couple comparison videos of that just to see what the difference is like. But
right on.
Pretty good. The last DVR. I mean,
there's a couple aftermarket companies like I think Furious makes a cord that has the power button in it, a battery that has the power button. But for crying out loud, come on.
Yeah, it's
if I get $600, come on, you gotta get a power.
no excuse.
Well, no, it would make sense if they sold the power switch cord extra. Oh, that's a standard cord, but we'll upgrade you for $25. You know, but they
don't give them no ideas. Quit helping.
Like,
put the button in it.
So somebody in their marketing team and their business side is just not quite up to speed yet.
Well, shit! It took them 6 months to come out with a face foam. So,
and then suddenly everybody started 3D printing the analog mod and tearing theirs apart and making it analog as well. And it's like, why would you spend the money in this?
Let's go buy a Tesla and put a gas motor in it, 4-cylinder. What?
Yeah.
somewhere at DJI, in the booth next to the guy that designed the shape of the faceplate, there's a really odd shaped head that's called, oh, fuck you guys. It don't fit anybody. Fuck you.
It's like the kit cars that people will make a Lamborghini out of a Fiero,
right?
It's just like, oh, there's a Lamborghini. Oh no, because there's very rig soldering of everything in there.
4-cylinder diesel in it.
My brother-in-law was one of those people. He had the Fiero in his front yard with like all of the panels tore off of it, and he goes, yeah, I'm just waiting for my next paycheck to order that Lamborghini kit. I was like, all right, man. And I talked to my sister. My sister's like, I just let him go, man. He goes, he got the car for free. That's what he wants to do, you know.
Exactly.
Fun stuff. All right, guys, I can't break up a good thing, but it is 9:30 and I am late for work. My boss.
All right, man. Well, thank you for joining us. This was really fun.
Yeah, no worries, man. I appreciate it, guys. But like, it's in between rains right now, so I need to get to the office. Well, it's not because I travel everywhere.
I'll keep my eye out for your e-bike when it comes over here. You said,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely want to build out one of your frames when you get them redesigned, man.
Yeah.
Hit me up, man. I'll send you one.
Sweet.
Awesome. Perfect.
All right. See you later, Skadoosh. Thank you.
Take it easy.
See you, dude.
All right. So, boys, TJ, you only got a little bit. We don't have to go the full 2 hours. That was the first episode where we were testing things out.
You guys lasted forever.
I know.
I tried
don't
to
know
hang,
how.
man. I got to sleep.
Dalton kept going, and then he started racing, and like we were just having fun with it, winging it, you know. Oh yeah, are those micro ones? The Sunny Sky micro ones?
Yeah, this is micro. You can fit that in a tiny. What? Is my camera broke? I'm picking, man. 2207 and a half. 1900 kV.
So the 5-inch 6S, it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're cool. So, like every single motor they have looks the same. Which
is that a one-piece bell, TJ?
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe.
I can't tell. It's a solid maybe. There's a dimple around the edge right here where it may be kind of the sheath with the top on it.
Yeah.
but I can't really tell. But I haven't used them at all. It's literally the first one I took out of the plastic. And
Nice.
then,
Just tell them to be careful because iFlight and Korea Rail both say they're copying motors.
yeah. So that's your micro.
Nice.
What size is that?
This
Looks
one
like a
is
little Whoop one.
We got 08 or something.
08. Yep. 0802 19,000.
Okay.
Nice. That looks like it's a Tiny
they've
Hawk.
got-
That looks about the size of the Tiny Hawk motor.
So that they sent like one set of everything, I think.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, they asked me if I'd care to test them out. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? But honestly, it's I mean, really, between just us guys, since we're not on live or anything, I work for Sunny Sky, so it's kind of like it's muddy waters. So I asked Dale, my boss, I was like, man, can I test these or no?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, go for it. It's fine. So okay, cool. But obviously, we're looking at selling them on Buddy RC because why not?
Yeah.
That's my stance for it. It's like well, I don't want to compare us to anybody, but look at Get FPV. They have their own brand, but they sell everything. So I don't want to limit. I don't want to limit the store to just say, oh yeah, we're Sunny Sky, so let's just only sell Sunny Sky.
Right.
So I'm pushing for that. I don't know if I'm going to win out or not. So we'll see.
What are some of the various sizes of micromotors they sent you?
So it looks like it jumps pretty good. So you go from 08, what was it, 0804, I got 1207s, 1404, 14.
Ooh, those
yeah,
1207 sound tasty for my little micros.
Yeah.
So we might have to send you some. So yeah, 1404, 1408, 1207.
The 1404s over here for a Nemesis micro.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of 3-inch ones too.
All right, so the 1207, we got 5200 kV and 6000 kV. The 1404 is a 4300. The 1408 is a 3650. There's a 1408 2800. And then they jump up after that to a 2306 and a half 2300 kV and a 2207 and a half 1900 kV. So we'll see. I don't really have plans yet other than the 1900 kV. I'm gonna put on the line of sight quad tomorrow.
Well, I got a stretch
I
here.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you help testing those, I have a gank frame that would for pretty much every one of those motors except the 0802s.
I tell you what. Let's do this. So I don't know how to test all of these, right? I don't have enough crap to test it. I don't have micros. I mean,
you can't have everything.
Right. So I'm gonna do the line of sight quad with that. I can probably do something with 2300s, but let's do this. We'll work it out where we'll send a set to each of you, and then we'll meet back here and we'll talk about
I like it.
Why not? Let's that gives us a goal.
Okay, so first rule, we actually all have to have builds in DVR or video, depending on what type of we have, to show on the show.
Yeah, there we go. So we're going to test out the Flash Hobby motors. So guys, Flash Hobby, if you don't know, they kind of we'll say risen from the ashes. I don't want to go into too many details where they came from, but so Flash Hobby, new company out there making motors out. In a few weeks, we'll come back here and we'll talk about them on the show. It gives people a reason to subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah,
subscribe.
We need to get that subs list up, so share it too.
That's right. Yeah. If you're watching this right now, click that share button on Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Get this thing out.
Yeah.
Very fun. We're gonna do a lot of cool stuff. So,
Brock Hammond says tonight's stream brought to you by Fill in the Blank.
Buddy RC.
We did
OMP.
We did on one of Brock's streams. Matt and I were popped on, and we did one where it was like, and everything was just like, and this episode brought to you by Gank Multi-Rotors.
Dude, I'm just saying, between everybody that was on tonight, we could just sit there and like every 5 minutes put a new company.
Yeah.
And within the 2 hours, probably still need another 20 minutes.
Exactly.
So I told Dan this morning, I was like, dude, just put my whole resume beside my name because it's like, when I got to work this morning, Dale was like, you should put Sunny Sky on there because it's more relevant to FPV. And I'm like,
I edited the original post.
That's
like
right.
4 times.
like, so just put it all. Why not? Just copy
agree.
and put my address on there, my phone number,
Yeah. Send fan mail too.
Dude, that actually happened. So when I started working at Buddy RC, they have a kind of a sponsored pilot group, right?
Yeah.
So I got on there, and one of the guys said, where do you live? And they're all local guys. So I just, why not? I typed in my address. And about 45 minutes later, there's a knock on my door and a pizza. Like, dude, that's awesome.
Amazing.
So,
That's spectacular.
just random pizza. So maybe we should do that. Just we'll share our address and see if we can get food. Next thing you know, next week you get a glitter bomb.
I had somebody get mad at me during an unboxing because their address was blurry on camera on the box. And I was like, really?
Oh.
Nobody's stalking you that hard to try and piece together a blurry
Never
video.
know.
You're a real name guy.
Oh man, exactly. Let's see. What else? What else you guys up to? You guys got the helis, and you sent me some pictures of those. Which motors were those giant ones that you had sitting there?
What you talking about?
You said it was a little while back. I think it was motors, or was it the big charger?
Oh, well, so it depends. So Sunny Sky, like we said at the beginning of the stream, they're jumping back into the FPV game, which is going to be awesome. Everybody keep an eye out for that. But they do really well. Industrial stuff. So they're deep in the industrial side, but they do really well for airplanes. So
Nice.
they have the big. I think the one you're talking about is like the 40cc, the giant
That's
monster motor that I made a video of that was really pretty.
Yeah, I told you
Yeah.
I wanted to build a go-kart for my daughter with it.
Yeah, like that one. I think it was. I want to say they're flying like 60, maybe 80-inch airplanes with those.
Jeez.
Like they're monsters.
Yeah.
So like if this was a few years ago, I could have put those on the giant mini quad.
Oh man, yeah. That would be awesome.
Which-
oh man.
I could probably do something like that again. I mean, it's not really nobody. I mean, it's like that was back before X-Class and all the people were actually building that stuff. So it's not really that fancy anymore.
Here's a flight test throwback. I got about 10 of these old DT.
Oh wow!
The old what was it? Josh Bixler special.
Yeah, right.
I got a bunch of them still in box, and I got about 4 that are all soldered up and wired, and another 6 that are still new in box. Somebody gave me, and I'm trying to figure out a project to use them with, but they're also old
Dang.
motors.
Look at this dick.
Yes. Wait. We were talking about a retro rebuild, right?
Yeah.
This is that X-Class I had tried to build at one time, and
Wow.
desynced on me from 60 feet and just freaking stopped it.
It looks like you got foldable arms now.
Yeah.
That was intentional. So
Dude,
I built this out
that's
of
awesome.
an old camera rig, the old S500,
Yeah.
and I put a little carbon fiber rod right through at the back of each arm there, and I was like, okay. So this is now flying 10-inch with some giant 5010 motors, some 750 kV, and it works. I was so surprised.
Dude, that's got the old
The old dihedral arms, yeah.
Wow.
It's classy, man. Look at that.
That's awesome.
That thing's pretty, dude.
And I've actually gotten it flying out on 4S and 6S. 4S, I use a giant 3300 milliamp.
Yeah.
And it flies great. Like, it does acro, great. But I put it on 6S, and I was like, this is a bit too big for my backyard, so I'm just going to put this down.
Yeah, Curtis, he's asking in chat if, I built that thing, man. Or, well, it was, so Chad Lewis did the frame, and then I did all electronics. Yeah, he did the frame, which was made out of, plywood. But he built that part and then painted it to look like carbon fiber, and then I did all the electronics, and it took probably 6 months to get it to fly halfway decent. I started out with the Furious FPV little Combini, which trying to fly 30-inch propellers on that, man, I fought for weeks trying to tune it, and it just Dude, you could hover it, but as soon as you touched any control, I mean, you talk about a desync and trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. So then we put the Vortex in it. Was that what it's called?
I think Vector.
Vector. Yeah.
They, I saw some of the vlog clips from behind the scenes of that, and the wiggle wobble of that thing once you put any input into it was amazing.
Well, that was when the Discovery Channel, they called and it was like, hey, we want to come down and film that, and I was like, dude, I've never flown it. Like it went out back and it hovered, but it would not fly. If you tried to fly it around, you would think you're going to die. So when we literally tested it, we would be behind like poles and stuff, and it was terrifying. So they come down, and it's like, okay, we got to do it anyway. So I took it out to a field, and that's where, if you watch the actual episode, it does the whole death hover where it's, it goes up about 20 feet, falls, shatters, and then it was very easy. Let's hover it, we'll tilt it forward ever so slightly just to get it moving. And I made it go across the field like that, and that's what Discovery Channel ended up using for the episode. But man, it was terrifying.
Brock was
the hardest thing I've flown.
You flew it.
Yeah, when I flew, I think I flew it once, maybe twice. I tried to fly it like 6 times.
Was it you or Ian that crashed it? It was
both,
Ian, wasn't it?
Both. So I crashed it at Flight Fest East, which actually I've got. It popped up in my memories today. So I need to find. Let me find that while we're talking. So I flew at Flight Fest East successfully like twice, and then it crashed pretty hard.
Yeah.
Looked pretty cool. And then Ian, man, he crashed on a live stream,
and he hit it into the flag, didn't he?
No, that was me at Flight Fest East.
Oh yeah, he broke the arm on the ground cartwheeling it.
Yeah, and Ian, he was he was in California, and he was just zooming across the ground, and the ground come up and said hi, and it rolled pretty hard.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, comes up and bites you like Forrest Gump.
Yeah, here you go. Let me share the screen, see if it pops up.
Let's see. There it is.
See it right there.
Yeah.
So what's that, 3 years ago today?
Yeah, that seems about right.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was after I think. So this crash, I just did a flip and it freaked out and hit the ground. You'll have that. But
Dude,
you can see the
giant styro GoPro.
Well, look at the right side at the tiny whoop. There's a tiny whoop laying in. So Jesse Perkins and a few other guys were out there while I was flying this, and they were just like diving in. It was like, man, it was so cool. So cool.
Do a little tiny power loop in the freaking
right.
Hey, Ricky. Ricky Peacock just popped up, so I need to congratulate Ricky. He got a super big shout out the other day, so that was awesome. I watched that. Ricky Peacock, what's going on here is we are talking with TJ Williams and Matt Gankman, and we're talking with Skadoosh, but he had to go to work because it's bright and early in China right now.
Oh, Ricky, was that Flight Fest South?
Yeah,
I can't remember. I crashed it everywhere. I mean, there was like, we did it in Florida, we crashed it in California, we crashed it in Ohio. Just how
did y'all transport that? It's like strap it to the top of a car or what?
So anytime. So obviously it was only like that 1 year that we did multiple Flight Fest. but it was tractor trailers. So we bought a couple. I think it was just like 1 or 2 18s, and they showed up, loaded everything in, put it in the back of the truck, and it took off, and we met it there.
Nice. Blaze SPV says sup TJ.
What's up, Blaze?
What's up, Blaze?
Everybody's
Yeah,
rolling in.
I
now,
seen
yeah.
him in the. It popped up and told me he was watching in Facebook. So
Nice. Yeah,
that's the
Ricky.
beauty of Restream.
Yeah, exactly. Ricky says South is where he met you once.
Dude, I've met so many people.
Aw.
I love it.
Yeah, that's one of the things I don't like about Restream is we need to have a little bar off to the side so everybody can see the comments.
Yeah. And, like I've got one tab open of Facebook, one tab of YouTube, and then Restream, and just bouncing back and forth, trying to catch up on the chats.
Yeah, you think there's
Sorry,
got to be a
I
way
missed
to
your
combine it.
There is. It's combined on my side,
Ah.
and I can highlight them. Like Blaze was commenting on YouTube, but was apparently watching on Facebook and couldn't comment. So I don't know, but people are commenting on Facebook as well.
So here's an idea that nobody knows, and I don't know if it's going to actually happen or not.
Uh-oh.
But you know, I'm going to be getting married again,
Yeah.
which I don't know where she's at. She just went. So I'm trying to figure out where to do it because it's like we don't want to spend a ton of money, but I'm thinking Edgewater.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
quite
it would
literally.
be fitting. And it's gorgeous out there too.
Right? Well, that's what I told her. It just clicked the other night. I was like, man, Edgewater's beautiful. And it's like with the clubhouse, there is for small people, a small amount of people. So I think that's what's going to happen. I'm leaning that direction.
Nice. I think that's a good idea, and you could always have all your friends come do some fancy orbit shots of their stuff the whole time.
Well, if we do,
Like,
I'll
your own
probably
friends
live
do
stream
that?
it.
And just throw them all up in the air all at the same time. Just do a big flock of.
Yeah. Ricky, man, I really appreciate that, dude. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that being said, I did ask Bixler about it, and he's like, dude, that'd be awesome. Let me know. So got the okay, figure it out. That's what we want to do.
Nice.
Do you have a date yet or no?
10/10/20.
That boy.
Well, that way I can remember it.
Brock says 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah, so and that's the thing. Like we were talking about, it's like, man, it'd be so cool to be able to just invite everybody and have a big thing. But with the current climate and the fact that I'm not rich, it's we'll have a small intimate thing and do live stream it probably and eat hot dogs.
True. Now, my question is, what's Sharnia's take on RC on playing with toys all the time?
She is crazy supportive.
Awesome.
So much so she runs a daycare center here, and it's brand new. It's bougie, it's where people with a lot of money go. And we did a kind of a virtual tour thing for her, and now she's pitching me to help out with marketing and stuff for them too. So it's like, hey, why don't we go from playing with toys here to playing with toys there? Difference is those squeak and these can kill people.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Things
Oh man.
At least she's supportive. My ex called it my room of useless junk.
Yeah. Well, it's where we came from, man. So this is a lot different, and it's a lot better.
Yeah.
So there's hope for everybody.
Exactly. But
I didn't get into it until after the X, so I didn't have someone saying no. I just had my bank account saying, "Hey, wait!"
and you got your kids there going, "I'll fly something. Sure, I'll play with toys. Why not?"
Dude, I wish for mine that mine don't. They just don't even care. It's like, look what Daddy's doing. Yeah, cool, Dad. I'm playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Well, do you
this-
really want just one of them, TJ, that wants to do it, and then so the rest
None
of them,
yet.
He gets to spend more time with Dad. He's a favorite, or
Yeah, no, none yet, man. Like last week, they'll trade off. So that's one cool thing about Buddy RC and OMP is, I can take kid to work with me if I want to. So like last week we traded off. One went one day, one went another, and so they like going and hanging out. And then after one time, they're like, "Man, this is boring."
You put up a photo of you doing picture testing and camera testing of your daughter, and it looked like you were distraught with some sort of food or snack. She was just sitting there like,
yeah, right. Yeah, and they're all fun. You gotta love it.
all right, guys. Well, I don't know. I think we've hit our talking points that we were looking for. Matt, do you want to talk about anything else?
No, I don't know. I think I'm all right.
TJ, we got to get you flying a gank frame, man. I sent you the ghost mode too, but yeah, we got to get you a proper gank. And actually, that ghost is from a giveaway that Matt did.
Yeah.
That I won.
Well, thank you. But yeah, I'm always. I mean, it's anything, man.
And don't worry, we'll send you the parts to go with it too. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, let me know what kind you want, and
All right.
I've got a few different kinds of. Well, you saw. I got racers. I got micros. I got freestyle quads. So
We got to start hooking them up with. I know Jesse sent you one, but we got to start hitting you guys with some more whoops and micros, so you can like chase down your kids with it and chase. And stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, anything that comes to me that size that gets flown in the house will be sacrificial to the puppy.
Yeah, I agree.
She can jump like almost to the ceiling fan already, so I'm yeah.
So Ricky says, "Good to see you guys smiling," and Ricky actually knows a little bit about all of our drama. So
yeah, right.
Thanks, Ricky, man. That actually means quite a lot to us.
Yeah, man.
I do, Ricky. I do have TJ's 2-inch. I actually, I posted a lot of video of it, and then I stopped because I broke it, and then I put it back together again, and then I broke it again because I hit the side of my house surprisingly hard for a 2-inch. But I have the frame is still perfectly intact. I had to swap out 2 of the motors and the camera because I was that amazing. And as we all know, I am not the greatest of pilots, but Ricky loved that thing. I was out flying with him not too long ago, just bombing that around, man. And Ricky and I fly sometimes together. Hey, there he is. Hello. And he was like, "Wait, that's the TJ Graham, dude. That's awesome." and he knew it right away, like right when I pulled it out. He's like,
"That's so cool,
TJ. Man." Like, so, but yeah, I do have that.
We'll actually have more stuff coming. I mean, I'm not saying I'm great at designing anything, but I have been asked to do it, and I was like, man, I'm not great at it, but I know a lot of good people. So looking at collaborations with different people and actually using different things for, the rated flies and binding flies and getting stuff like that, to where it's not just saying, oh, let's just base it off of my name because I worked at Flight Test. That don't mean nothing. It just means I got lucky and I was able to talk to a bunch of people on camera. So that's what I'm good at. There's people out there that blow me away with building, and that's their thing, man. So let's use a platform to get other people in, and that's what I'm working on. So
I very much agree with that. Like FPV, one of my main things is every time anybody asks about it, or even the slightest thing, I'm like, just try it. It's awesome. You'll enjoy it. I've been pushing to try and get a lot of my good friends in that. A lot of them dealing with things like depression and PTSD from being overseas and stuff. And so it helped me a lot. And I know it's helped all of us in some way, shape, or form a lot. And I'm grateful for it. And I got a couple buddies of mine that were overseas that came back pretty sad, pretty depressed, and they couldn't really get back into the swing of things here. And they took up FPV right away and were like, this is awesome. This is exactly what I needed. It's that release sometimes that you're just like, I just need to go fly. This is what I need to do right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, dude, I've got so many stories of just people walking up to me I've never met before in my life
Yeah.
And I mean, I think I've told you those stories, where it's like, hey, one in particular where his son had committed suicide.
Yeah.
And, he had drifted away from his family, and that happened. He felt like it was his problem, and he had a younger son, and they bonded over Flight Test. And that was what they did, so much so that they were coming to Flight Fest every year.
Yeah.
And so it's, it's toys, it's silly foam board, it's silly drones, it's going out and playing, but man, it does a lot for a lot of people.
It does. And actually, before Skadoosh left, and he's told me his story before, but it helped him get clean. And
yeah,
it's changed a lot of people's lives. I know a lot of people that have cancer and are dealing with a lot of different issues that can't get up and go get a job and go work all day, because they just can't. And I personally have a really bad back. I've got a slip disc in my lower back. So there's some days where I can't either, and just sitting there being able to fly around my house and do dives through the trees and stuff I don't even record it half the time. I'm just whatever. I just want to fly, So
that's the whole thing for me, is just the thought of flying yourself, because I always wanted to, when I was joining the military, I wanted to be a pilot.
Yeah.
I always wanted to fly something somehow, right? And this is just the easiest thing. And once I put the goggles on, and once I had the focal length correct, obviously the focal length on goggles is all wonky. But once I got the Fat Sharks, man, it was just I was in love. It was just you feel like you're right in it. The first time I shot up in the air about freaking 120 yards and then swooped down, I actually had that feeling like I was in a roller coaster, right?
Yeah. So, and your butt just clenches to the chair, and you're like, "Oh my God, what do I do? What do I do?"
Yeah, and then the first time you crash and you realize that it's okay, I'm not connected to it. My daughter freaked out the first time she put on the goggles, and I was flying around. I was doing an orbit around her, and as soon as she saw herself, she thought the drone was coming at her, and she had to take it off because she couldn't deal with hearing it and seeing it from different perspectives all at once. But it freaked her out a little bit. But dude, that's just being able to fly. Even if you're not freestyling, you're not racing, just if you want to go fly, cruise around the top of the trees and then dive down the side and swoop around the side of the yard or something like that. Anything. It's I grew up in the country, so we used to, birds and fish, and, we used to be jealous of both of them. Fish, why the hell can they swim underwater and I can't?
Yeah. I'm trying to build my cousin, who's a professor and a marine biologist at Tampa University. I'm trying to build him one of those underwater scooters with a couple old EDFs and stuff like that. I'm gonna figure it out, but I just don't want to zap him in the process.
Well, just remember the motor itself is waterproof, right? The brushless motor
but my wiring might not be. We'll have to find out. So, all right, guys. Well, TJ, dude, awesome. Thank you. One, you've helped a lot in terms of promoting for this channel originally. And two, thank you for coming on. I know a lot of these guys that are watching are fans of yours and were fans of Skadoosh's, and a lot of them were pretty stoked for us to talk to you. So
it was awesome, man.
Yeah, man, and thanks for telling us about Buddy RC and Sunny Sky, because I'm pretty happy that they're coming into the world.
It sounds cool as hell.
So,
all right, guys.
Well, thank you, and everybody else watching, subscribe, share, hit the YouTube channel, hit that little bell so that you can get notified. We're gonna try and do this once a week. Different people. I've got a little hint on for this the next episode. This shirt is one of the Maddie Blunt's specials, so I think we're gonna try and do Maddie Blunt's, and if you can, Verb FPV in for the next one. Talk about some gank frames.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, they both own one, and soon TJ should be flying one.
Hey, Trenton, thanks, man.
Yeah, Trenton's a good buddy of all of ours. Thank you guys, everybody, for watching, and I guess we'll all touch base soon once we test all those motors.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Send me
All right,
some
boys.
addresses and some wants.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
exactly. All right, so I'll talk to you guys later, and we'll touch base after this. Everybody, thanks for watching.
See ya.